The Four Leaf Clover podcast is sponsored by Planet Celtic.
I think I'm going to need gallons of this afternoon, gentlemen.
I don't think this Dr. Pepper's going to quite do it, mate. So the rums might be getting popped later.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Welcome to the post-match show for the Four Leaf Clover podcast. It has incredibly finished St Johnston 1, Celtic 0. We'll try our best to get through this, but absolutely terrible. And by the way, St Johnston deserved that. Defended for their lives today. Their goalkeeper was fantastic. And listen, credit where credit's due. They absolutely deserved that today. But we will get into it. Andy, let's get into it straight away, mate. The starting lineup, mate. I think yourself and Jerry, I think the both of you called that exact lineup last night, pal. Any surprises in there for you?
No, really not. I think we spoke about Trusty, obviously, bringing the balance to the team. We've been left-footed. And Brendan actually touched on that before the game and saying that he prefers a left-sided player in that position. So I think as well as Rocky had done, I think it was on the cards that Trusty was going to come back into the side.
Aye, no, you're bang on. And Jerry, you picked the same team as well. I thought that maybe Ralston would have come in for Johnston, who I thought looked a bit tired recently. Maybe gave him a wee rest. But any surprises in that team for you, pal? Hello, Jerry. Can you hear me, Jerry? Can you hear me, Andy?
Aye, mate. Aye.
Don't know what's happened to Jerry. Jerry, you'll need to sort your computer out, mate. So anyway, Andy, we steal the ball on the right-hand side on the first minute of the game.
Yep.
Eventually falls to Engels.
Well, there he is.
Is he back now?
Aye.
Can you hear me now, Jerry? No, he's going to have to come off and go back on. Aye, Andy, so Engels had a chance in the first minute. We hope for a bright start. And Engels shot, but right at the goalkeeper.
Aye, that was right at the very start, about 40 seconds or something. Maida steals the ball. Aye, Kuhn, the Engels drags inside the shot. That's the one you're talking about, isn't it? And it's straight to the keeper.
Aye, first minute, mate.
Aye, very first minute. So at that stage, I think it's a pretty bright start with Celtic. We were hoping for that. I think that the start is important. We all had it on the cards that we were going to score a few goals a day. You know, you're cruising at the top of your league, you're up against a team at the bottom that's looking relegation dead in the face. And we've got 3 stands at their stadium. So right at the start of the game, you're thinking, right, here we go. It's we're on top of it here.
Can you... Jerry's away. Aye, so after that, Andy, we got an early warning sign on the second minute. They get a wee loose ball in I think it was our left-hand side, and the ball comes in, and Balodis gets above Schlupp, and he heads it just over. So that was an early warning sign. What I noticed today as well, which I think we'll get into, Schlupp gets beaten in the air quite a lot, mate. He cost us in Glasgow Derby with the weeest guy in the pitch. I think he lost every single header of the day, mate, and that early warning sign came to fruition just a couple of minutes later, mate, when they got their goal. So we didn't take the warning. Silly foul by Schlupp it was as well, actually. Carey whips in the free kick and Balodis gets above everyone again, and he nods home. 1-0 St Johnston. Nightmare start yet again for us.
I think Schlupp had his best game. Whether it's down to his timing when he goes up to try and get heaters, I don't know. He's not exactly a midget, you know. He's not the tallest, but he's a bit of a unit. He was really disappointing today for that point of view. But that goal as well, obviously getting the free kick away, and then when the ball, I think it was how does our marking work at set pieces? Because we are absolutely awful at set pieces. Not only when they go against us, but when we get them in our favour as well. Corner kicks, free kicks, useless, absolutely useless. But especially when the ball's against us, set pieces, even like against Hibs with that boy Miller with his long throw, it's almost like a corner kick or a free kick. We struggle with it. We really struggle big time. Whether it's down to zonal marking, if it's down to man marking, whoever it is picking up the man that tends to score a goal, it's a total mismatch. Almost confusing. And if it's a zonal type of thing, it's just a free-for-all. There's absolutely no organisation in our defence. Even during play and open play, sometimes it's really panicky. But especially set pieces, we are going to be one of the worst teams in the league when it comes to set pieces. We are really, really bad. And there was a prime example. 3 minutes into the game, 1-0 down, no picking up your man, gave him the time to get that header in, and just really, absolutely gut-wrenching.
Aye, I bite my fingernails, mate, every time we get a free kick against, and I put it in our group chat as well. I don't know what it is, mate. We're absolutely honking at, any sort of set piece against us. You just think the opposition's got to score every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So on the 12th minute, mate, Hatate gets wiped out. Engels floats in a free kick. It breaks to Maida, who shoots across the goalkeeper, who palms it towards Kuhn, and it looks like a tap-in. But what a tackle for the Saints defender to stop the goal.
It was, but Kuhn's got to be more alert to that as well, mate. That if he's more alert to that, he's a heady defender and he's putting it in the back of the net. An absolutely fantastic opportunity. But then again, the defender done right will actually take the ball right off his toes, because if he didn't get that right, then Kuhn was scoring that goal. Then you're looking at a different game at that point, because I felt, see, as the first half's rolling on, I'm thinking to myself, all we need is a goal. All we need is a goal just to give a wee kick up the arse. And I know you're looking at, you're ready to be league champions. You don't need a kick up the arse, but sometimes you do, because Celtic, the day, played like a team that's already won the league to me. That sauntering about, no real intensity about their play. A lot of the passing was absolutely dreadful. And you can go through the whole team. You're looking at Hatate, Engels. How Engels stayed in the park for me so long is a joke. Hatate was absolute fucking pish, by the way. Again, no enough. Having a wee worldly pass 2 and 3 times in a game isn't good enough. It gives the ball away far too much. And even I would have made subs way earlier than half time, by the way. I think it was screaming out for changes, because the signs were there that it just wasn't happening. Hook them off, get them with players on it, an opportunity to actually kind of change it up the game and put something into it. I thought Hatate was absolute push. Engels was terrible. Kuhn, non-existent. And even Maida, you can look at Maida and say, even when he's...
I think he touched the ball, mate.
Trying to shoot the ball and even line somebody else up, bouncing off him. He's getting it. It's not gone to any other players at all. He had a really poor game. You could get through. You're looking at Jota as well. I thought Jota was fucking crap. I really do. I don't think we've had enough for Jota. But you could get through the whole lot. When you're screaming for Taylor to come on, that's a bad sign. A guy that's been out the picture quite clearly, obviously on the bench for backup reasons, but when you're actually saying, I hope Taylor comes on in because you think it can make a difference, it's a bad situation to be in. When you're cruising to a league title, and we spoke about crawling over the line or sprinting over the line. This is what we usually do. We usually kind of up our game towards the end of the season. This is like a league's already done, and it's not done. It's not done yet. They had a great opportunity there. Win this game, win the next one, it's done. It's done and dusted. But no, I think the attitude's strong. Brendan looked lost. See, even when he's like, what else can I do? How do you... I don't know. And you're relying on your captain, by the way, only, but you're not waiting to half time to have a team talk with him to up their game. The captain's on the park. He's a man on the park to have a word with the players.
Yeah.
That required them, when the ball was out of play or something, gather them round, get your fingers out. You're at Celtic now. You're meant to be league champions, and you're putting in a performance like that. Carmack's got to take responsibility here as well. He's a leader on the park. Show it. Let's see a bit of fight out of these players. I know they've done the hard work already, but come on, this is stuttering out of the line. It's not good enough, especially with that rotten mob losing yesterday. I know it makes us look as if our bottles are crashing.
Aye. No, mate, I love your passion and you're absolutely bang on. So on the 14th minute, good play from Celtic, a nice 1-2 with Hatate and Engels. But again, puts his strike straight at the goalkeeper. 21st minute, St Johnston try a shot from outside area and Sinisalo has to be alert. Good save, but out for a corner. Aye, it was a smart save from him actually. The boy sort of turns on it on the left-hand side of the box, tries a shot, but good save for the young keeper.
To be fair to St Johnston, you could say they had every man behind the ball, but they didn't, because it was still a threat. And that big boy up front gave Carter Vickers an absolute nightmare the day, physically, I'm talking about. And that doesn't happen very often. But I think we've pointed this out with Carter Vickers, that he's not been at his absolute best, certainly the last few weeks. He's been off it a wee bit, looks a wee bit jittery. You don't often see him getting muscled off the ball, and that happened a few times a day in defence, to be fair. Do you know what annoys me as well? I totally get, and Brendan's explained this, right, about you're having to come back a way to go forward to kind of create space. But St Johnston's organisation was spot on today, because they kept their shape and they're very disciplined. And they picked and chose their times, went to presses. And they had two up front, by the way. It's not as if they had 5 and 6 in defence. But when they had to be, they defended very well, which, if we can't break down a team at the bottom of the league when we're flying at the top of the league, that's, use your football brain. There's other ways to go around about it, and just doing the same stuff hour and hour. Teams, it's like, see, when you see American football and they've got the playbooks and they're flicking through it, that's what we've got to do. These teams have got us down to a T. All we need to do is this, this, and this. They run out of ideas, they can't get through, they can't score goals. And to be fair to their keeper, I think we've said it many times, Scotty, a lot of teams play against keepers and they have an absolute world day, and he certainly had that today.
The boy was superb, by the way. Done absolutely nothing wrong, and some world leaders in there as well, mate. He was top class, that goalkeeper, by the way. So, listen, I've no qualms with it at the end of the day, because we didn't deserve anything, you know what I mean? St Johnston played out their skin, defended well, their goalkeeper was fantastic. But just as Chris Fraser said earlier, we were just too slow. We were toothless up front. Just one of the days at the office, it's just one of them. So on the 29th minute, mate, a slack back pass from the Saints defender, and Maeda is onto it. Heavy first touch as he tries to round the goalkeeper and slot it in. Then Jota tries one from outside the area on the 30th minute, a minute later. Again, just over. Then on the 40th minute, a corner from the Saints, and Sidibe gets above Schlupp again. Mm-hmm. But thankfully heads it at Sinisalo. That's when I knew his game was up. I thought Schlupp had an absolute shocker today, mate.
He was going to be off the park. And to be fair, he's been reasonably good since he came into the side. Let's not beat about the bush. He's actually been all right. Just an absolute nightmare a day to day. And that's the reason why he was hooked when he was.
Aye. And then half-time, mate, it's incredibly St Johnston 1, Celtic 0. But as you said, the changes needed to be wrong, and Brendan's certainly done that. 2 changes at half-time. Schlupp and Kuhn, both just not the races at all today. Both off, and Taylor and Yang on. Were you hoping to see more changes in that, mate?
Aye. I'd quite happily seen Engels off the park, and Hatate, and maybe looked at Bernardo or McCowan to come on. I think the changes had to be done. But to be fair to Brendan, it's not often he makes changes at half-time. He leaves it about 60 minutes or something like that. So at least they made a couple of changes at half-time when it was required. I wouldn't have been unhappy if I saw more changes in that, though. I think we needed that. I think the writing was on the wall that we were struggling a wee bit.
Aye, we were so. And it's been pointed out. Welcome to a Celtic podcast. Please don't laugh at us, man. Come
Kevin
on.
Wilson, is that Kevin Bloody Wilson? Tough man, he's brilliant.
Your team are so bang average. Aye, you're bang on, Kevin. Well done. Our team's bang average. Jesus Christ. How's it going, Helen? Not good enough. Sick of the side to side back passing. It was very boring to watch today, Andy. That's what was the point I was just getting at there.
Yeah.
It was a terrible watch for Celtic. I don't think the pitch helped, to be honest, but both teams have to play in it, mate.
Exactly. You can't go blaming pitches like that. No, I know I do it when it comes to plastic pitches, but I think they shouldn't be involved in professional football. It's a normal grass pitch, all right. It's no fantastic, but as you said, two teams have got to play on it. Do you know what I think? And I said it in the chat, Scotty. We miss O'Reilly. See that penetrating run for the midfield into the box. How many goals he scored for there? We've just not got that anymore because Engels, I know he was kind of brought in as a replacement, or meant to be, or it's been claimed that he wasn't, but we've not replaced O'Reilly, that type of player. McCowan's very different for that, you know. Engels is different. Hatate's no that type of player. I think we've really missed that this season. We certainly haven't replaced O'Reilly. Simply, not just for his goals, but his assists. I know he was plenty of assists as well, set up a lot of goals. And I think they're missing that. I'm not saying that's how we lost today, but I think overall, when you look at the season, you can see that he's missed. I would be, in the summer, I'd be looking at, and I know we're quite heavy on the midfield kind of front, but I'd be looking to try and get Matt O'Reilly or him back if possible. I know it's not going to happen, but I'd love to see an O'Reilly type player if we can get him. I think we really miss that.
Aye, we'd all take him back in a heartbeat, mate. So on the 54th minute, a quick corner from Engels. Very clever play, actually. Hatate's in a world of space for some reason in the box, but he thunders his shot, mate, off the post. Unlucky.
Aye, unlucky. Engels is normally quite good with his corners, even though we don't usually capitalise. For him, usually his delivery is quite good. That was a kind of low one out to Hatate and just cracked it off the post. Pretty unfortunate. There wasn't much in it, was it? And again, I'm going to go into the second half a bit of goal. I think a goal would have made such a difference. I think you're going to see a different Celtic team for there. And it just, see, the longer the game rolls on, you're really starting to think, you're not losing total belief, but you're going, it's just not happening. There's too many things going against us here.
Never happening.
Positivity starts to wear away, doesn't it? You know, and the negativity starts to set in. And I hate kind of having that mindset of negativity, but sometimes you can't help it because the evidence is right in front of you, you know.
Aye, bang on, mate. And then bang on the hour, mate. What are you doing, Real Hatate? Great play for us. A wee bit of Stramash in the box again, and it's laid on a plate for him about 12 yards out, and instead of placing it, he just goes for power, mate, and nearly puts the ball out the stadium.
Aye, I'm pretty sure that ball landed in somebody's garden in Blair Gowrie, mate, because
that was
aye. Honestly, it was really poor again for Hatate. A great opportunity there and just absolutely blast it, and there's just no need for that. A great opportunity lost there, absolutely.
Aye. And plunges bang on. No point moaning how Saints played. They're fighting for their lives. Our performance was abysmal. Aye, listen, we call as it is on this podcast. They fully deserved the 3 points. It's as simple as that. They defended for their lives. You could see they were fighting for their lives, and they got what they deserved today. It's as simple as that. So on the 60th minute, mate, Ida came on for the very quiet Dyson Maeda today. 65th minute, McCowan for Engels. You did say that was a bit late probably for Engels to come off. And then on the 68th minute, a great drive for Kalmak busting through the midfield, plays the ball out to Yang, who puts it was nearly a perfect ball in, mate, but just too hard for Jota at the back post.
Aye, Jota just wasn't going to get to it. I think I don't even know if he'd have got to it if the ball never had so much power on it. I'm not too sure, but it was definitely far too much power on it. It wasn't reaching it.
Aye. And James is asking, I'm guessing Randy Tim won't be in Perth this week. We actually had a Randy Tim for you today due to yesterday's result.
Aye, but something happened and we lost the footage. I don't know what happened to it, mate. So, you know, we'll need to inquire about what happened there. It's absolutely nothing to do with the result today. I can guarantee you that. Nothing to do with it. It's been lost in the storage somewhere, and it is flung into a cupboard somewhere, I think.
It'll be flung in Randy Tim's tap drawer, mate. Tap drawer for the one. Aye, so on the 70th minute, a clever ball from Hatate into Ida. A great block again by the Saints defender, Mitchell. And then we get a free kick, mate, on a great area just outside the box. And it was absolutely terrible from the very poor Jota as well. Then he get 10 off, mate. Forrest came on straight after his free kick. And James Forrest looked quite bright, to be fair, when he came on the 78th minute. He tries a shot, it breaks to McCowan, and it's just wide.
Yeah.
And then on the 80th minute, how has he saved that? We steal it, and Ida breaks down the right-hand side, and he squares it to Forrest. An unbelievable save for that keeper yet again, mate. We thought it was going to be 16 seasons in a row for James Forrest. What a save for that keeper again.
Aye, it was a save, but you know what? Jamesy just fired the ball straight up. I think it looks as if he's going to place the ball, but he places it right towards the keeper. I think either side the keeper, especially the far side where he had more room to put the ball. He puts it either side the keeper, it's a goal, but he fires it straight up. So as well, all right, it's a save for the keeper, but Jamesy didn't help that. He just fired the ball straight up. He didn't really need to do much to save it. That was a great opportunity. Gone again. So actually, when you look at the first half and the second half, so far in the second half, there's quite a few chances there that we've just scuppered. You know, it's not as if we had absolutely nothing, no chances in the game. We did, but down to good goalkeeping and poor decision making when it comes to like placing the ball or skying it out of the bar or past the post. Aye, it wasn't good. It wasn't good, and that was a great opportunity there, but no, it wasn't happening.
Certainly is. There's our Paddy in the chat. Shambles of a performance. Wish the players cared as much as we do.
Yep.
Aye, it was a shame. I seen somebody putting it in the comments earlier. All the fans that went and paid 30 quid each, and you know the 3 stands. They deserve more than that. And I'm sure that would have been Brendan's message. You know, go out there and win that game for them that have came here today, because there's going to be 60,000 of them wanting to win the league at Celtic Park next week. So go out there and win the day, and then that's their prize sort of thing. But aye, terrible, absolutely terrible for the fans that went up there, and our Paddy as well. You know, went there with his grandson for Ireland, and they have to sit and watch that. Aye, so that was us. 83rd minute, great play by Forrest again. Does a give and go, but unfortunately strikes it right at the keeper. 89th minute, Yang finds Ida in the box. I think he was a bit surprised to get it. He was onside, but he put it just wide. And then on the 91st minute, Andy, what an unreal save from their goalkeeper yet again from Luke McCowan. Forrest crosses it, falls to look at the back post. He just tries to flick it out of the goalkeeper, and he sticks his hand up and bloody saves it again, mate.
Aye, that was a good save.
Aye, he was unreal today, man, that keeper. Let's just, give him credit where credit's due. Their goalkeeper was brilliant, mate.
Mm-hmm. Aye, he was, but as I said, we had a few opportunities where we're hitting it straight at him as well. I think, you try and angle these kind of shots if possible. We'd certainly had the opportunities there to win that game, and we were absolute pish, by the way. The performance was poor, really, really poor, but we did have opportunities and didn't take them. So we can only blame ourselves. And you can't go saying that, well, I said at the start that, one team's flying at the top, the other team's ready to get relegated. If you didn't know that and you're looking at that game, can you tell what team's what? That's how bad it was. Aye,
no, you're bang on, mate. James has said we haven't kicked a ball since Bayern, let's be honest.
Exactly, I've said that in the pod. I know. That looked as if it was our peak, and then it's been down for now. Aye.
It has been, mate. Aye, I think once the Champions League's been by, we just haven't had a performance at all, really. Aye.
And that as well with the injury time as well. It was far more than 5 minutes. So where did all that time go to? But there's no added on. But it shouldn't come down to that, Scotty. It shouldn't even come down to that. I know we're bringing it up, obviously, for a reason, because technically it matters, but we should have had the job done within time. We had plenty of time. They scored in the 3rd minute. We had the whole game to rectify that, and we didn't do it. So
aye, and plunge. The ref could have added an extra hour and we wouldn't have scored. Aye, completely agree with you, mate. It was definitely one of those games, and we had one last chance at the end, Andy, in the 93rd minute. Corner comes in, Ida gets his head to it, but of course their goalkeeper saves it yet again. So the game finished, ladies and gentlemen. St Johnston 1, Celtic 0. Just overall thoughts on the game, Andy?
Push, mate. I can't elaborate more than that. Just absolute push. A game I quite happily forget for the rest of my life and never even speak about it again. Just poor, piss poor. I know what come May we've got a good chance of we're going to be celebrating a treble, but let's show the team that we are. Let's show that we're champions in our performances, and we certainly haven't seen that. Certainly not today. Quite a few times this season, recent weeks. Stuttery performances defensively, very, very weak. And a few players know getting their shooting boots on today, which is going to cost you, I'm afraid. So the future's bright, but we've got a lot of work to do. And I think come the summer, we've got a lot of planning to do to improve this side. Because as good as they've been for the majority of the season, we really need to up our game when it comes to pushing players that are in the squad, that nobody's place is safe. You don't perform, you're not going to play. Simple as that. And I don't even think it's a pressure thing. You know, it's almost like a home game for us. We have the three stands. But if you're not up for it, being a Celtic player and you're so close to winning the title, we're getting it over the line, winning this game, winning the next one, job done when it comes to the league title. And your bottle crashes like that, it's not a good sign for me. So Rodgers has got to get them in, give them a right good talking to, and let them know what it's like to play for Celtic. You're expected to win every game. No, just if it means you're going to win the league, but every single game, for the first game to the last game, you're expected to win. That's just the way it is here, you know. And if you're not up for that expectation, you don't belong here. So, cheerio, let's get players in that know what it is to be a Celtic player.
Yeah, well, we're getting one of them back in the summer anyway, who definitely knows what it is.
That's a great point. Yep.
Aye, so your KTs and hopefully O'Reilly as well, mate. It's a good shout. Let's hope it happens. That's us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Myself, Andy, Paddy and Jerry should be back with you on Wednesday night for our normal show. It finished St Johnston 1, Celtic 0. You know, didn't deserve anything today. St Johnston fully deserved their victory for me. Defended well, goalkeeper was brilliant, and we deserved nothing out of that game, and that's exactly what we got. Mm-hmm. We'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you very much for joining us. Cheers.
Thank you.